Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's day 50 of 60-day reading challenge, where we are going to read the chapter 14 to 15 from the Rudest Book Ever by Shweta Gangwal. So, without wasting any time, let me just check that whether this video is actually live streaming on every platform or not. So, actually, this video is live streaming on my YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. So I can see that everywhere it's streaming. So thank you so much for tuning in, and let's just read. Yesterday I actually did live stream at 8 a.m. because I could not wake up, but I could wake up today because it's Sunday. You might be thinking, okay, I'm waking up, so I can wake up at Sunday in early morning, but not in other days. How is it possible? No, it's possible, guys. So it's totally possible. So let me just check that how many pages that we're going to read today. Let me just give it a just check that. So chapter 14 to 15 we are going to read. So it's going to be like only 20 pages, maybe not even 20 pages. It's around 16 pages, guys. I think no. It's around 16 pages. Okay, that's very small read. Okay, because most of the book I have already read. No problem, let's just read then. Okay, so the chapter name is The Pieces of Shit Online. Okay, maybe it's all about what we see online. I don't know. No, let's not assume. So here is a very nice thing that I want to read, that it says, the more honest a person, the more you admire them. So focus on my words, that what I'm saying, for what I'm reading from the book. The more honest a person, the more you admire them. The less honest a person, the more you follow them. So in social media, a lot of influencers, social media influencers that we talk about, we don't know what their really real life is. We just make assumptions. Okay, they are actually selling the perfect lifestyle, perfect happiness, perfect intelligence, and all of the stuff that we see in the internet. It looks shows just so much perfect, right? So when we see someone who shows their let me just give an example of Ali Abdal again. Ali Abdal is the YouTuber who makes videos about productivity and lifestyle. So he says that even though he makes a lot of content about productivity, he himself is not that much productive sometime, but most of the time I would say. So he shows this to the audience. He generally say that okay, these are the times he's not productive and these are the times that he's productive. And because he get the job done, because he make the content, because he'll make a lot of content on Skillshare, YouTube, and he also have the YouTube academic, something like that, where he teach people to how to do YouTube. So he do a lot of things, multiple businesses and clients maybe he have, but so that makes him productive, right? So productivity is all about like getting things done. It's not about that how much time you're sleeping or not, right? So he does procrastinate. He does procrastinate a lot. He play games for no reason sometime, okay? But he shows this. He does not say that okay, I have this super craziest productive life, okay? He does show whenever he's not doing something, right? It just makes me admire him. And I would say, if a person is like less honest, if you see like in the Instagram, a lot of people are not really showing their what they actually do, right? So they show the perfect lifestyle, their perfect click that they have taken. So this perfection actually makes us follow them. So we see this beautiful page and we're like, wow, okay, everything is going perfect in their life. They might be reading a lot of books. Maybe this is the perfect profile that I should be following. So we go ahead and follow them, right? So these are the people we actually follow. They are, I would not say they're not honest, but it's somehow they are not showing the right thing also, right? They are not showing the true side also. They're only showing the perfect side. Okay, they're not really actively hiding, but they're somehow hiding it, the thing that we should be showing, we should be seeing, right? So this sentence makes sense a lot for me, I would say. So yeah, let's just read. So he's saying there are 4 types of influencers that can be there. So one is like those with less impact and more entertainment. These are the influencer we don't give a shit about. There are some famous people you give a shit about a lot, like those with high impact and high entertainment. These are the famous people, right? And there are some influencer with those worth giving a shit about, like those with high impact and knowledge. Excuse me, guys. Those with definitely not worth giving a shit about. So these are the influencer who with high impact and perfection. Okay, they have high impact but so much perfection in them, so they should not give a fuck about this kind of it's not worth giving a shit about this influencer, right? So because they are not showing their true side, I would say. Maybe that's the reason. And that's a great tips to be an influencer as well. I'm so glad that I'm reading this, because see, I also want to be an influencer, not like to manipulate people, but to obviously there is an underlying need of money for everyone. So nobody is working for free, but the thing is that I want to change the world through the through the knowledge of the books, because books has so much knowledge, but people are not leveraging it. And we all know that, right? We read multiple books a year. Maybe a lot of people are not even reading, so see how many things they are not really getting exposed to. um, so it's really important to, let me just read what is there. Here's a very beautiful thing. I'm gonna read it as it is. That's okay. Think of any influencer who in the beginning of their career appeared humble, sincere and relatable to you, but after fame and money they became more and more fancy. Their pictures became more professional, their flaws started to vanish, their clothes became more expensive, their relationships seemed more for camera and status, and their attitude became more self-absorbed. Yes, I have seen that. So I don't want to be someone like that. So these are the things that's really important for any influencers to read as well. I think it's not really only for the normal people. If you really want to be an influencer, that's also applicable, right? You may think it is fame and money that changed them, but the truth is they were this person all along. It's just that without the fame they could not show it. Okay, you might be thinking that after getting the fame the person became like that, but Shweta Kangwar is saying that okay, they did not change after they get the fame. They actually could not show this because they did not have the fame. Okay, and I have seen people and influencers like this who have grown from like very slow subscribers to very high in the YouTube I'm talking about. I'm not going to take any names here because that won't be a good idea, right? So yeah, not because I'm afraid, but it's not really good to directly insult any people, I would say. You guys obviously can figure out who they are by just by reading this book. You can figure out this kind of influences. So go ahead, you're more than welcome. You don't need a name for myself, right? Great. here's the thing. What I quite like is that you think you know this famous people, those famous people like you follow, right? Here is the thing: if you like them because they are great artists, that's cool. But when you say they are your role models or heroes without knowing shit about them, that's tendency of a follower which is making you dumber. Yeah, that makes sense. So a lot of those, we actually think that these people are like perfect, but when we see that some private data of them is getting leaked, they leaked that they were involved in some scam or something like that. They find out cheating on their wives or partners, mistreating people around them. So when we see this kind of thing, uh, we get actually shocked. Our uh, you know uh, we feel betrayed. So here is the exact word that is used. Yes, right, we feel betrayed, that okay, how this person can do this. I was his follower for a long period of time, I was her follower for a long period of time. And so because you were making assumptions and expectations, that is totally out of the thing that their action that they are doing, right? Suppose they're good as an artist, so you should trust them as a good artist, not as a good person or anything like that. You should not just you know you should not just blindly trust anyone, right? So you can trust him with the art itself, right? So suppose someone is painting, and you see that okay, he or she does really nice painting, so trust them as a good painter, right? uh, but not as a human being. But for that you need a real data or the actions that they're performing in their lives, which you don't even have any fucking idea. So get the ideas that what they're doing. If you really you can't really make someone like just role models. The concept of heroes is not really makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, and yesterday I quite like one thing when he says that we should promote the heroic activity, not the heroes itself, right? So yeah, that makes sense. Let's just read those worth giving a shit about. That's the thing that I should be reading with focus. I've been reading that with focus as well, but it's more. Mhm. So he's talking about all the people who actually talk honestly. So he gave an example of Mike Tyson. So he talked about like stand-up comedians who say the honest thing by in our face, that okay, they when people actually talk about honesty, when people actually talk about the real things that is going on, they become human in our eyes, even though they are popular. So Here I'm going to read as it is from the book. And any person who talks honestly about themselves become human in our eyes, even though they are famous, right? So yeah. So he gave an example of Mark Tyson. So you will find out that they have been abused drugs in their past and used to be self-destructive in many ways. So when you have no expectation that they could have done something like this, okay, so because we have like we have this urge or tendency to see people as perfect beings when they are especially when they are popular. So that made us that made this this person like totally human to us, not any perfect being. So yeah, we actually get admire we actually these are the people we admire a lot. They have done a lot of things in their life which we admire a lot, but we don't generally follow them a lot. So yeah, that happens. But we should give a fuck about this kind of person only. So from this broad group of people, you take entertainment as well as intellectual value. You admire them, not follow. Okay, yeah. When I think I am guilty of that, maybe. Okay, I will need to just recognize that, recognize my list of influences that I actually admire or maybe follow. So I think he did not give any action steps here, but I will do that. I highly encourage that you do that as well. I'll try to put a Instagram post about it. So let's see what can be done. Okay. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram or any other social handles, go ahead and please follow ImpleBooks. We are everywhere as ImpleBooks, right? So he's talking about all those people who has this perfect lifestyle, perfect of everything. This a kind of celebrities or maybe person that I have seen a lot of people or profiles on Facebook or Instagram mostly, and even on the YouTube there are some millionaire guy who is always around and surrounded by the beautiful girls, all the models, and they have some great bungalow or anything like that, millions of dollars in his bank accounts. And when we see this kind of content and we are like, wow, I should be having this kind of thing, even so they actually live on the fantasies that we do live on in our head, and they don't need to show directly that you need it. They just put them in the center of those fantasies. That's what Shweta Gangwar said, and it's totally correct. So what are all the things that you fantasize, like you having a car and surrounded by all the beautiful girls, and maybe you have sex with beautiful models every day. So this is the kind of thing that you fantasize. They put them in the center of themselves, and when we see this kind of content and we're like, okay, they're so much perfect, we feel worthless when we see this kind of thing. And yeah, this is the person who has so much follower, and we actually blindly follow them. Like, we actually think that okay, these are the lifestyle which maybe it makes sense, but totally it does not. They have been there are marketing team like script writers, PR firms, and managers, publicists, all of them are like backed with the perfect setup which makes you sell this lifestyle to you. So you basically become a follower of them. So nothing, you should not be like thinking much about it, right? Okay, great. So how do you save yourself from this bullshit? Yeah, that's important. Let's see. Okay, finally I think I'm thankful that it's there. Guys, I need to charge my laptop, so I'll be back when I'm done with it. Yeah, so I'm back here again. Let's read. So he's saying these some situations with the perfect people, we actually follow them because we think that okay, millions of people are following them, and we actually stop thinking rationally, and we think that we might be the idiot, that we don't like them, we should like them, and we just go ahead and blindly follow them because millions of people can't be like idiots, right? So here is a nice sarcasm that he did. Like, all the most influential philosophers, thinkers and writers were multimillionaires and looked like models. Everybody knows this. Yes, that is a sarcasm. I quite like this. I was like shocked. Okay, what the hell is this guy is saying? And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, it was a sarcasm. They actually, self-perfection and basically dreams, he's saying, and we look up to them because when we look at them, when we look at their lifestyle, because these are the lifestyle we can't really afford, and these are the lifestyle that does not make sense, and that's what makes us crazy about those kind of lifestyle, because that makes us happy when we see this kind of thing, and we actually lack of this thing as well. So that's why we keep seeing this kind of content. Okay, you might be seeing that specifically sometime. I have also seen that something that I could not achieve, something that I could not do, I just watched those content. I was like, wow, that guy or girl is doing this kind of things, right? So so this does not really matter that how many followers a guy or girl have. I have seen a lot of people with very less subscribers who is doing amazing thing, even in the book even in the space of the books. And honestly speaking, guys, with a lot of followers, some book who make videos on books are not doing that much good. They just have great followers, they have the speaking ability, but they don't provide much value, I would say. So I'm not taking any names here, but yeah, I'm thinking about making a video on 5 booktubers that I really like. So yeah, I will try to do that. Let me know in the comments if you really want a video like this. So yeah. Great. Okay, so he's going to talk about a very important thing today, is that how people give authority to someone. It's love, right? So yeah, let's see, that's going to be very interesting, because the chapter name is Don't Suck Up in a Relationship. So yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna read it as it is. And I believe it's true, because I have seen that. It's not like that I'm just just saying out of the blue. But here's the thing: for a lot of people, love is the idea that someone else will make you happier than yourself can. Right off the bat, that is a terrible idea. If both the parties believe that, it will lead to codependence, and if only one of the two does, it will lead to one becoming the other's servant. So one of the partner, if believes that he needs to be dependent on you to be happy, then it will make him your servant, or make her your servant. But if you both of you think that okay, you should depend on each other for your own happiness, then you become codependent. And he's saying that both of these ideas are like shit. And yeah, I totally believe that, because that is going to create chaos in your life. I'm saying it from the experience, but yeah, that's true. So so here's a very beautiful thing he said there. Now suddenly you have met a person you think is the only source you need to be happy, so you start undermining your work, ignoring the other priorities, and make them the top one. It's understandable if it was like that only in the beginning. You both were excited then. But if it has been years and you can't say no to them anymore, you fear that if you disappointed them, they will leave you. The only way to keep them is by doing whatever they wish to. Then you are royally fucked yourself. They are your authority, and not in a cute way. So I really like this. So if see, when you suddenly meet a person and you started doing all the thing and then abandon all your work and just started giving all the time that you have in the life to them. So but when you keep doing this for years and years, and you just feel that okay, and you just feel that disappointment that okay, I could not get my job done because I need to satisfy those person, because if I don't, they will leave me, he or she will leave me. So if you have this tendency in your mind that you actually yourself totally fucked yourself, and he said the right thing, you fucked yourself, not that other person, right? Because it has nothing to do with that person. You have created this person, you have created this image to in front of that person. You have leave your job, you have not the job itself, maybe you have given time whenever it is not even necessary, right? So these are the kind of things that you have created, maybe. So yeah, that actually is going to fuck you up very badly. So yeah, let's see what is said else. So some of the reasons that some people get trapped in a shitty relationships, he's saying. So these are the reasons that I'm going to read as it is from the book. You think that you will never find a person as good as looking and as good looking as them. You will never find a person as great at sex as they are. You will never be able to love somebody again. Nobody understands you better than them. You will never find a person who would love you again. You think you are not worthy, therefore you are lucky to have them. So and you have put so many years and so much effort into this, you can't back out, or else you would look like an idiot, right? You say that you are prepared to end this any second, you don't give a fuck anymore, but it keeps going on, right? And these are the things that keeps happening. You believe they are who you think they are. They need you because you are the only one who knows what's good for them, therefore they are harming themselves by pushing you away. uh, they only have me. Helsha is a broken person and I am fixing them. Okay, so you are like the savior of so yeah, it's interesting, right? Let's just read then. Here's a very interesting thing. He says that every person in the relationships think that their partner is the special one, and if billions of people think about like this, so there is no meaning of this spatial word. So we are actually we have this actually fucked up idea. So it's not like that they're special, it's not like that you're not going to find anybody like this. So these are all the assumptions that we actually make, okay, in our head only. Yeah, and that's true. And he's saying that if you're not someone who is 70 years and have had all this kind of all sorts of experiences, then you need to shut the fuck up and get out of that as soon as possible, right? Okay, so these are all the relationships fuck ups that we have seen. Now, how to set yourself free from bad relationships? That's the okay. I'm gonna read as it is because I don't see it's very long. Yeah. So step 1 is decide once and for all that you want to leave. So you need to decide first. Step 2, you have to see them as oppressors, even if they are highly respected, loved, and one of the nicest people in the eyes of the others. It is absolutely necessary for you to see them as oppressors. Okay, if you want to break free. Okay, we need to see them as like oppressors. Okay, even though they're a lot of relatives maybe loves them, maybe your relatives also loves them. Okay, maybe your mother loves her or him, right? Step 3, seek help from capable caring people. Okay, that's really helps. Uh, this is the step that makes sense for me most. So yeah, no, it's not like that I'm relying on others, but the thing is that it helps whenever especially this kind of heated moments arises. Step 4, be completely invested in knowing yourself, because it will provide you all sorts of amazing possibilities for your future. Okay, the more you know yourself, the better it is, because it's good for your future, right? Step 5, the most important step: once you leave, never look back. Do not try and find out what is happening with them, how they are, what they are doing, what they are uploading on social media. Close that chapter completely from your life. So it's like stop talking, stalking. Okay, that's it. That's enough. Okay, how to never get trapped in a shitty relationship. Okay, that's a very good thing. Okay, how not to get trapped in a shitty relationship. So once you break out of this, it's really important that you don't go back to this kind of this kind of relationships again. So let's see how to do this. You need to have your concepts clear about a stable relationship is supposed to be. Okay, great. A relationship does not mean giving a person authority over yourself. Yeah. In a relationship, self-respect should be never compromised or replaced by anything. The happiness from companionship comes from the need to be loved, understood, and valued by someone. Self-respect comes from self-control. There is no correlation. So yeah, if you think that okay, self-respect is actually comes from self-control, that we already see in this book. So the more you can control your urges to give the authority to someone else and do something that is not really necessary for you to for a relationship and for a perfect relationship, then it's good, then it's all good. So you can have the self-respect. Then self-control will ensure continued respect from your partner. Knowing who you are and staying true to yourself will give you credibility and trustworthiness in their eyes. A relationship should be looked as a partnership between the two people. Therefore, careful selection of a partner is required, not a random choice out of desires, urges, and tendencies, which are the criminal elements. That's really important. That's the very important thing here. Finally, the self must always remain supreme. That does not mean you won't become habituated to the other person or even addicted to them. The supremacy of self helps maintain the thin line between addiction and dependency. So there is a beautiful thing he says. I quite like this. The self must always remain supreme. That does not mean you won't become habituated to the other person or even addicted to them. The supreme of self helps maintain the thin line between addiction and dependency. Okay, if the relationship does not work out, addiction will wear off gradually after months, but dependency is a virus which makes you think there is no option but the other person. That's the beauty thing, right? So I'm just gonna take this highlight this as well. Okay, so despite knowing that this relationship is toxic, mentally abusive, or breaking all the unacceptable rules, you are unable to break away. You think that without them you don't exist. That is the poison of dependency. What you need to know and feel in your life is you have yourself at all times. So you need to focus on this word called self a lot. So from this you can imagine why working on yourself is so important. Others don't dare to fuck with your nation if you have a strong leader, right? So the leader is you, and you are the nation. And when they do, their leader knows how to take care of you. Yourself is what you have. Why not get busy knowing it and empowering it? The more you know yourself, the better it is. So yeah, how to know this? Maybe he's talk about it, learning how to think. Okay, that's going to be very interesting. That is the last thing that we are going to read tomorrow. So yeah, we have completed the 50 days of reading in this 60-day reading challenge, and I'm quite excited that this book is going to be completed by tomorrow. And I'm quite excited for the book that I'm going to read as a last book on the 60-day reading challenge, and I will announce it on my Instagram page. So please go ahead and follow me on the Instagram. So if you haven't followed me, so or you can follow me anywhere because I will be posting that anyway in any social media platform. So from wherever you are active, just go ahead and follow me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day, guys. So